Anyway, I'm CA Priya Joshi with CA Sandhya Barathe. And friends, uh, let's understand today the importance of understanding finance. And now you must have noticed that I have mentioned the word understand twice here. And let me explain why. Friends, whenever we venture into something new, so may it be learning a new subject, a new language, or buying a new product, or adopting a new technology, it is always a two-step process. The first step is we must be convinced whether we are in need of this new thing, whether it is going to add some value to my professional or personal life, or it is going to be beneficial to me in some way or the other. Then only I'm going to go to the next step, which is understanding or actually putting my efforts, money, energy, or time into acquiring that thing. So, today, what we are going to do is trying to understand the relevance and importance of finance to an entrepreneur's life, and then what are the different financial tools that are going to help him. All right. So before we start, let me give you a brief background about why we thought of having a word with entrepreneurs. While working in the industry, we realized that entrepreneurs know their business process very well, but sometimes they may lack financial management skills. And as the business grows, the scale of operation increases. Understanding, controlling, and managing finance becomes even more difficult and tedious. Another problem faced by most of the small scale units is either inadequate funds or inconsistent funds, which means either they are not able to procure enough funds to run their business operations, or sometimes they do have funds, but they are locked in unnecessarily high inventory levels or long outstanding customer receivables. So it is not available at their instance. And it ultimately causes heavy financial losses and even raise some operational issues like no stock available for production or no money available to pay to the vendors, etc. Again, complete financial data is being a legal requirement. If your financial records are not complete or not organized properly, it may also result in some serious legal implications and even penalties by government agencies. And unfortunately, the most important realization was accountancy was not exploited or utilized to the fullest possible extent by the entrepreneurs, either because they were not aware about the usefulness of accounting, or else they were aware but they were not knowing how to use it or how to utilize this tool. So, friends, we are going to try to do understand this today. Uh, oh, may I request everyone to be on mute? If you have any question, you can put that in the chat box, or you can also unmute yourself and ask. Right? Thank you. Yeah. Friends, accountancy is the language of business. Now, let me tell you why I say this. Let's take the example of today's workshop. We are entrepreneurs for different backgrounds. We deal in different types of products, different types of service lines. But the only platform that has made us or made this facilitation of coming together is accountancy. Accountancy is applicable to everyone, whether they are running a business or they are having any kind of commercial setup. In fact, I feel that there are only two languages which are universally understood without any incorrect interpretation are accountancy and a smile, right? So understanding the accountancy is very important for the entrepreneur. Uh, Now, suppose we want to analyze the performance of our business, then there are always two aspects to it. The first is qualitative aspect and the second is quantitative aspects. Based on the customer feedbacks about the product or services that you're providing, or the cordial relation that you can maintain with the financiers or suppliers, you can come to a conclusion that you are performing fairly well, but you have to also make sure that this good performance is bringing in some money to you. It is a profitable venture to you, and that can be gauged only with the help of quantitative measures, which is available with the help of accountancy. Moreover, if you are planning to expand your business, like for expansion of current business operation or diversifying into new product lines, you might have to seek outsiders finance from finance from banks or other financial institutions. In that case, your past financial records are going to provide the basis for reliable and practical financial projections, because accountancy is the language which is commonly understood by you and the financer. He is going to understand how your business is performing and what is the financial position of your business only with the help of this language, which is called accountancy. But don't worry, friends, we are here and we will help you to learn this language, right? Friends, the primary motive behind every business is its viability, profitability, and long term sustainability. And accounting is the process of identifying, analyzing, interpreting, and communicating the information about your business to yourself to achieve these business goals. And moreover, it is also a all pervasive internal control system. Now, what is an internal control system? It is a system set by the business owner to ensure that everybody in the organization works towards a common goal, towards the business goals that you have set for your business. And it is also going to help you to avoid any fraudulent activity. It is going to help you to define the responsibility of each individual working in the organization. So management accounting is going to help you to achieve this. Let me explain why it is possible with management accounting. If you have set up different internal control system for different departments in your organization, like sales, purchases, production, then inventory management, these are the different departments that are there in any typical organization. But ultimately, every department is going to reflect its operation or transactions into accounting. So, accounting or accountant can make sure whether the internal control systems set for every department are being followed properly or not. And it is going to give you information about every possible business activity that is being carried out in the business. So, based on that data, you can take informed decisions. The decision could be a long-term strategic decision, like we just saw, expansion, diversification, or it could be even routine types of day-to-day decisions. Accountancy is going to provide you the data for informed decision making. And ultimately, this financial decision is going to help you to achieve the long term success of the business. And once you set these strong internal control systems facilitated by management accounting, it is going to help you also avoidance of revenue leakages, and unnecessarily exaggerated or high costs. In fact, sometimes I feel that accountancy is looked down as only a facilitator of tax calculation, which is absolutely not the case. It can bring a lot more value to you and your business to control their operations, right? If you have any questions, meanwhile, you can put that in the chat box. No issues. We can stop there and address those. Okay. Now, being an entrepreneur, I really understand that you are tied up with very important decisions and activities like procuring enough funds from financiers or dealing with the customers. finding out good and quality raw material suppliers, etc. But there are certain things which are inside or internal to your business operations, and they need your regular and uh, close attention on certain regular periodical intervals. And we'll see what are those focus area internal to the organization that an organization should focus upon. The first and most important is definition of KPIs. KPIs are key performance indicators, or in simple words, when it comes to financials, we can call budgets or targets. You should set targets for your business. So the targets could be for the sales target, or the maximum cost that you feel you should incur for a specific product. It could be inventory lock-in periods. It could be, I'm so sorry, there is some problem with this. It could be anything like, um, it could be also like what should be the credit periods that you should be enjoying from your customers, sorry, from your suppliers, etc. So these are the targets that should be set and reviewed periodically, whether they should be revised or not. And setting the target itself is not going to help, but you also have to make sure whether you are tracking the actual performance with the targets, whether you are comparing the actual performance with the targets that are set. So this is an important area that needs the attention of entrepreneurs. The second is the others are quite fundamental in nature, but they do need your attention, like timely invoicing and collection of receivables. Unless you invoice or send the invoice to the customer, he is not going to pay you back. So you have to set a system which is going to ensure that the invoices are prepared and sent on timely basis, and there is a proper follow process to collect the receivables, right? Then the third thing that needs your attention is uh, whether you have uh, good payment term negotiations with your customers, and the payment terms are mutually agreed upon to avoid future dispute. You have to make sure that you have something documented with you, where those payment terms are written, so that it will help you to enjoy the credit periods and discounts that are there, and avoid any possible future disputes with the customers and suppliers both. Then the other area is inventory levels, because we might think sometimes that let's stock out the raw material to highest possible extent, so that if there is a scarcity in the market, we do not face the problem while using that in production. But unnecessary high uh, lock-in of funds into inventory levels also causes you finance cost, because you are generally running your business with some overdraft or cash credit facilities from the banks. And if you put unnecessary high funds on the in the inventory which are not required, then they need your attention, and you should keep on revisiting and revising the inventory levels that are optimum for your business operations. Then the next area that needs your attention is, I'm sorry, that needs your attention is there should be a system of evaluation commensurate with the scale of operation or nature of your business. And it ultimately, this system is going to help you to find out improvement opportunity in every possible area inside your organization. So this system of evaluation is also need to be set by you, and it should be revisited periodically. And then we should also have a knowledge about how accounting can be utilized as a robust or strong internal control system, so that everybody in my organization is working towards the common goal or common objectives that are set by myself for my business. And last but not the least, tax compliances is again needs your attention, because prevention is always better than cure. In India specifically, there are a lot of complicated legal and tax requirements which need your attention. So you may not be directly doing everything, but you should have a fair idea about the legal and tax requirements applicable to your company, and you should be making sure on periodical basis that you are complying with those procedures or not, right? So moving forward, we will see what are the different accounting tools that are going to help. And maybe due to time constraint, we may not be able to look into all the accounting tools that are available, because it may take a lifetime to do it. But we will look into some of the accounting tools that can help us, right? So these are the some of the financial and accounting tools that are available uh, in the accounting system. The first is understanding the practical accounting process. I know that we are not directly going to make the journal entries of each and every transaction that we are making, or we also are not required to prepare the balance sheet and P&L account, but we should be able to understand what is being happening, or how my transactions are getting reflected in the accounting, and what are the interpretation of the reports that are being generated by the accounting process, because those are the reports that are going to give me the idea about the financial performance and financial position of my business, right? Then the next tool or next accounting thing that is going to help you is understanding how internal and external business environment affect my business. Internal environment are the employee, the infrastructure, or even the technology that you are using. And external factors are beyond your control, but they do affect your business. And they are like the legal requirements, then the industry that you are in operate in, the customers, the suppliers, etc. So you should have an idea about what are these factors and how they are going to affect, in which way and to what extent, my business. So understanding this is going to help you to control your business. Then the third important area is financial planning and analysis, or in simple word, budgets. You should always set budgets and keep analyzing your actual performance with respect to those budgets on a periodical basis. Based on your level of operation, you can always decide what should be the frequency, what are the different types of budgets that you need. Accountancy provides, or the financial management provides, a lot of ready-made templates of budgeting and financial planning, and you can decide based upon your nature and scale of operations which specific structure or which specific reports are applicable to you. And once you decide that, you should periodically keep analyzing and comparing your actual performance with those budgets. Then the third thing is, what is you should understand what is internal control system and how that can be effectively implemented in every possible department inside my organization, because ultimately it is going to tell you whether everybody is working properly without any without carrying out any fraudulent activity, and they are carrying out their responsibilities properly or not. And accountancy is going to facilitate or help you to set up these internal control systems. Then the management information system is another very important tool facilitated by accountancy or financial management. There are again a lot of reports which are applicable to different types of businesses and industries, and you can use those reports, and that will help you to decide which product it's bringing you, what is the profitability of each specific product line, or different localities if you're working into different customers. They can help you analyze, even they can help you analyze the different finance sources that you are enjoying. So based on your requirement, the management income, the name itself says that it is the management information system. It is completely internal to your organization, and the reports are designed completely based on your requirements. So these are the most possible customization of reports that can be generated from the accounting system, right? Uh, then analysis of financial statements, P&L account and balance sheet is almost universally applicable. It is prepared for every business. It can happen that the frequency for preparation of the financial statements differ from industry to industry or business to business. Some want it on a monthly basis, some want it on a quarterly basis, some want it on a yearly basis. The legal requirement is you should prepare it at least on a yearly basis, but I suggest you should set a system wherein you prepare the financial statements more frequently, and you also learn how you analyze the financial performance which is given by the P&L account, and the financial position which is explained by the balance sheet. And you should use that information to take business decisions. Then again, if you're thinking of expansion or diversification, and you want to procure funds from outside and invest into long term projects, then capital budgeting is a branch of accounting that helps us to evaluate the projects that you are going to or planning to undertake. There are a lot of calculation basis or ratios that are available, which will help you to gauge the profitability of the project that you are planning to undertake. Then again, another most important tool is working capital management. We are going to take the example of working capital management today, how it helps to manage your business, because this is the most commonly applicable tool which should be used by the entrepreneurs. So we are going to look into some more detail when it comes to working capital management. And last important thing is working knowledge of relevant commercial and tax laws. You should have working knowledge of it. You may not need the expertise into these laws, or but you should at least be aware about what are the provisions that are applicable to my form of organization, and what are the things that I should prepare to make sure that I'm in compliance with these laws, right? So we'll take the example of the key business processes that are almost universally applicable. The first is procure to pay, which is like when you which is basically accounts payable process, where you give your orders to your suppliers, you get the goods receipt, you receive the invoices, and then you make the payment. And then the second process, which takes a lot of your attention, is forecast to fulfill, where you forecast you get the customer orders, then you forecast the raw material requirement, what are the timelines for that, and then you procure the raw material, you actually produce the finished goods. And if you're only a supplier, then you keep the stock levels ready of the goods that you are trading in, and the dispatch. So this is forecast to fulfill process. And the most important process is order to cash, because that is going to bring in my money. Getting the customer inquiry, then sending him the goods, giving him the invoice, and receiving the payment, and ultimately settling the dues. These are the key business processes which we do on which actually consume the most of the time of the business owners. And if we set up good internal control systems for this, and if we use the available accounting tools properly, then we are going to ensure the timely supply of goods and services. It is going to help us avoiding unnecessary funds lock-in and delayed fulfillment of uh, customer orders. And it is also going to ensure that the dues from the customers are collected promptly. And the accounting tool which is going to help me to do this is working capital management. Now, can anybody quickly put into chat box, or even you can unmute and tell what is working capital? If you anybody of you have any idea, what is working capital? It is a component of your balance sheet, you can say. So what is it?
It's the money required to, I mean, to run the business on day-to-day basis.
That's right. That's, in fact, I would say that's perfect, because working capital is the investment in the operating cycle of the business. Operating cycle is the day-to-day operations that you are carrying out for running the business, right? So it is the items that comprise the working capital are your debtors, your creditors, your stock levels, and your cash or bank balances. So these are the items which are hit most frequently when you run the business operation. Other items like fixed asset or long-term loans are not these accounts are not hit on a day-to-day basis. But working capital is something that is moving on a daily basis, and it is going to help. The working capital management is going to help you to manage the current assets and the current liabilities efficiently. Because let me tell you how working capital affects your profitability. It does not directly affect your gross margin. Gross margin is the um, margin which is calculated by reducing the directly attributable cost of a product from its sales price. Right. So this is not where the working capital management or the working capital cost is going to hit. It is the overall administrative cost where the working capital affects you. So if you focus on the gross margin, you are not going to able to understand whether working capital management is uh, effectively being the overall profitability of the business, which is calculated by deducting the administrative expenses, like, for example, rent or electricity expenses, or the finance costs that is incurred by you, etc. So these are the administrative expenses which are not directly attributable to a specific product, but which are generally incurred by the business. And this is the place where the working capital hits. And based on the overall profitability, you are going to understand whether I'm doing effective working capital management or not, right? And it is also going to help me to make optimum use of fixed asset. So let me give you an example. If you have a plant, and if you don't have properly monitored inventories, and you went into scarcity of raw material, you have run out of raw material stocks, then you cannot run the plant and produce the fixed asset. So the plant utilization is not attained to the optimum level. It is sitting there and you are incurring sunk cost. So this is how good working capital management is going to help me to facilitate optimum use of fixed asset. And it is also required to run my day-to-day business operations, because if I manage my working capital properly and my customer dues are collected on a timely basis, then I'm going to be able to meet the obligations that I have to fulfill, the financial obligations. Like I have to make the payment to suppliers or bankers. So these obligations are possible only if I'm collecting my dues from the customers on a timely basis. And these are the different examples of how working capital management is going to help me to run the operations on a day-to-day operations smoothly. Again, adequate working capital is going to define the short-term solvency of my firm, which means if regularly I'm having this problem of not having good enough money to meet the uh, financial obligations from supplier or bankers, then the credibility that I enjoy in the market is going to affect, and it is people are going to question the solvency of my firm. They might get an impression that I'm running into an insolvent position. So adequate working capital. So you should be able to calculate that what is the level of working capital that is required to run my day-to-day business operation, and that is facilitated with the help of accountancy. And it is also most importantly going to help me overcome the economic downturns, most of the times the economic downturns are short term of nature, like the current pandemic situation that we are facing. It has caused a kind of recession in most of the industries, and many of the people are facing the liquidity issues. They are not having enough cash to meet their obligation because their customers are not being able to meet their expectations. So it is a cycle that is happening. So this is a short term phase, but if we cannot survive this phase, then it is difficult for us to survive in the long run. So good working capital management is going to help me to come out of these short term adverse situations. Right, so this is one of the example how understanding the finance and accounts helps me to run my business effectively and control the business operations properly. Right? Now let's see what the financial statements that that are generally prepared try to tell you, and how do you interpret the business performance and the financial position of your organization. The first financial statement is profit and loss account, and it is the summary of revenue and expenditure for the financial year. Now, there are three different components of this definition. It is the summary. It is not a transaction level report or a transaction level mm, account. It is a summary of the revenues and expenses. It gives a summary of both revenues and expenses, and it is prepared for the financial year. This is important. It is prepared for a specific period of time. It can be a financial year, or based on the requirement, it can be prepared more frequently, but it is for a specific period, and it calculates the result. It can be a profit, it can be a loss for that specific period. So there are three components of profit and loss account. The first is revenue, the second is the expenditure, and the third is the result, the profit or loss. And this result is the financial performance of your business for that specific period. Again, this is important. It is for that specific period. The second financial report or statement is statement of assets and liabilities as on a particular date of as a so it can be the end of the financial year, it can be the end of a quarter, it can be the end of a half year, based on the requirements. But it is a statement, it is just a statement, it is just telling you that as on a particular point in time, this is the position of your asset and this is the position of your liabilities. So it is not prepared for a specific period, it is as on a particular point in time, and it gives you the financial status or financial position of your business. So it is not an account which runs through more than one day, or it runs through a long period. So it is always on a particular date, and it has three components: assets, liabilities, and capital, which is owner's fund. So you can get a fair idea about what is the financial status about of your business with the help of balance sheet. And third important financial statement, which is unfortunately given the least attention, is cash flow. The statement of cash inflows and outflows during a specific period is a cash flow statement. So it analyzes how much cash actually came into my business and how much cash actually went out of my business. And based on the nature of the business activities, it also classifies the types of activities or transaction that you carry out. There are three types of there is a three-way classification of this transaction. The first is operational cash flows, which is arising out of day-to-day activities like making the payment to customers, suppliers, sorry, and receiving the payment to from customers. Investing cash flows are money spent on investing the amount that you have into fixed asset or long-term investment that you are planning to do. And financing activities are the or financing inflows or outflows are inflows related to financing the business. So it can be capital or procuring outside loans. So this is how the cash flow classifies the business activities and gives you fair idea about what are the different activities that I'm carrying out and what is the classified cash generated by each of this activity. And it also gives you the cash position at the end of that specific period. So these are the important financial statements that you should be preparing on a regular interval, and you should be able to interpret what are the different figures that are there in these statements that are trying to tell you. Yes, anybody wants to ask anything? Okay, right. Again, securing the finance for the business is something that needs a good attention, or that rather it takes a lot of time and energy of an entrepreneur. Because if you're thinking of expanding your business, or even if you're start thinking of going into a new startup, you have to seek finance for the business from bankers or other financial institutions, and you should be able to understand how you prepare the loan proposal for seeking the finance from outside. The first and most important thing is the comprehensive understanding of the project that you are going to undertake. You should have proper or fair idea about what is the product that you are going to produce, what are the different raw materials required for it, what are the different sources that you are trying to explore for getting this raw material, what are the markets that you want to target for selling this market, what is the group of customers that you are going to target this, how you are going to market this. So you should have a proper or fair plan with you ready, and you should have clear idea about how you are going to actually run this project. Because many a times we experience that we prepare a good loan proposal, we go to the bank, but the proposal gets rejected because they do not feel convinced that this person is has done proper study about what he wants to do and how he is going to do it. So we have to have a comprehensive understanding of the project that we are planning to undertake. Then we should be able to assess the requirement of the funds properly, both the funds required for working capital and funds required for building the infrastructure for the project, fixed asset and other things. So the assessment of funds should be near to accurate for while giving the loan proposal. Then the projections that you give in the product in the loan proposal, like you are supposed to give the projections for say 5 years from now on, what is the sales that you expect to generate, what is the cost that you think you will incur for that. So these are the financial projections, and these should be realistic. And if you are already running a business and planning a expansion, then your past accurate financial data is going to provide you the basis for more accurate or more realistic projections for the project feasibility, right? So again, maintaining good data or complete financial data helps you to expand your business. Then this is again another important thing, because this is one of the major reasons why the loan proposals get rejected is completed past legal compliances. If you have not filed the returns properly, or if there are any non-compliances from your side on other legal requirements, then again the financer is not going to get a good impression about you, and the loan proposal gets rejected. And proper and complete documentation that is required, supporting documentation, should be ready with the loan proposal. So this is how we are trying to help you, or what are how the uh, accounting helps you to how accounting helps you to get finances from outside, and also manage the finance that you already have, and you ensure sufficient and adequate and consistent cash and fund flows in the business, right? So friends, let me tell you how we can contribute or help you out with these requirements, and how we can help you to understand accountancy and utilize it properly. Let me first quickly introduce both of us to you. CS Sandhya Marathe has over 12 years of experience, and I have around 10 years of experience in the fields of finance, accounts, ERPs, then audit, taxation, and we have worked with different industries. And when we realize that there is a need to have a word or provide good guidance to entrepreneurs when they are struggling to manage the finances of their businesses, we decided to come together, and we identified the financial training needs of the entrepreneurs, and accordingly we have customized different training solutions to cater the requirement of different groups. Like there are different requirements of training by entrepreneurs. The working accountant need different types of training. Even the corporate business leaders need different types of training. So we have prepared customized training solutions for all this group. And today, if we talk about the entrepreneurs training, we have come up with different training courses, and you can find any of these courses applicable to you. And if you want to join these courses, you can contact us. Let me give you the courses, let me tell you what are the courses available with us. The first is finance for non-finance, then the second is understanding and interpretation of financial statements. What we just saw, we should have fair idea about accounting process and how they can help me to manage my business operation. Then we also have a training course on how you should prepare a good project report for securing project finances. Then we have also a course which will help you to identify what are the information that you require to manage your business, and how you will prepare the MIS reports for your business. Then GST is again another course that we are offering. And the main objective of these courses is to give the knowledge of relevant financial concepts, and that is going to ultimately help you to improve the profitability of the business and achieve sustainable business growth. Right? So let me tell you quickly what are the highlights of the training that we are taking up. The first and most important highlight is they are going to introduce the participant with the accounting concepts with practical orientation. You should learning accountancy is not um, enough in itself. You have to understand how you can practically apply those concepts to manage your business. Then what are the different working capital management tools? We are going to cover that. Then how you will prepare the MIS reports that are applicable to your scale of business is something that is going to be covered. Then again, use a financial report, how you will interpret and use the financial report to take or facilitate effective decisions for your business. Then it is also going to help you to actually set up effective internal control system, which is going to help you to control the cost, and it is also going to avoid revenue leakages of your receivables. Then we also have guidance on how do you provide accurate accounting database to your accountant. You might have inside accounting team, or you might have outsourced the accounting to a chartered accountant. But unless you provide proper data, they are not able to uh, uh, prepare accurate account or books of account of your business. So this course is going to provide you a guidance on how do you provide accurate data to the accountant, so that they give you uh, uh, proper reports which are true to your business and which are reliable by the outsiders. And important highlight of these courses is we have designed a lot of tasks and exercises to actually help you to implement the theory that you have learned to practical. We have created a lot of exercises where you will get the chance to actually try and do the learnings on mock scenarios that we have designed, and we will individually assess those scenarios, so that if there are any gap or any misunderstanding or um, incomplete understanding about any concept, then you will be able to understand that and then and there itself, and you can get the clarifications. And we also have some free add-ons, like we will provide you some ready-made Excel templates, for example, how you will define the budgets or KPIs, and how you will track the performance against that. So you will understand that with the help of these reports. We will cover that in the course. Then how you will track the revenue and collections of the revenue. So there are ready-made templates to track, there are ready-made Excel sheets to track this. Inventory tracking sheets will be also provided. Then there will be a report for managing the fixed asset and depreciation. It is called as fixed asset report. So you will be able to understand how the fixed assets can be managed and evaluated with the help of a single report. Then petty cash control is again a day-to-day activity. So we have a template to control the petty cash expenses as well. So these are some of the examples that we provide with the course as a free template. Then we also are going to cover the importance of effective business communication, because there is a difference between normal communication and business communication. So you'll be able to understand what is generally your gesture and language should be while you do business communication. So that is again a free add-on with the course. And introduction to some of the MS Office tools that are frequently used for running and administrating the business is MS Excel, Word, PowerPoint, or Outlook. It is also going to help you to manage and process the data that is generated by your accounting tools. So these are the free add-ons that are available with the courses. Okay, so if you are willing to join any of the courses, do let us know and contact us on the contact information different given here. You can write us, or you can also directly call us. And if you want to get more information about the training courses, you can also visit the Facebook Insta page, or you can also visit our YouTube channel. And regarding today's workshop, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself and ask us. Any query is most welcome. Yes, anything about the courses, or anything about what we discussed today about working capital, or the financial statements, or the focus area of for the entrepreneur. Anything, if you want to ask, you can ask.
You can unmute yourself and ask the questions. We will answer your questions.
Right.
Also, I would suggest to subscribe and like our YouTube channel, on which we are regularly uploading the informative videos by both of us, as well as some of the experts from other verticals as well. So please do visit our Facebook channel, like and subscribe the same. So if you are not comfortable with asking the questions, you can type in the chat box as well. Or on the other hand, if you are not comfortable with English, you can ask the questions in Hindi as well.